Hi everyone. It's our absolute pleasure to be presenting to you today. My name is Tinashe and I am joined by my colleague Sameeraja, and we are going to be presenting to you one of our privacy first open source Flutter apps known as App Persona. So a little bit about us. Like I said, my name is Tinashe. I work at the ad company and I focus on customer experience. I've been with the ad company since October and I've just been having a lot of fun since then.
Yes, and I'm Sameeraja, so I'm a developer and I'm into the development of App Persona since 1 year. And you can see what fun that we have created since 1 year in common. Yeah.
Awesome. So as some of you already know, we had the ad company come and speak at one of these meetups last month. And they went into a lot of detail into how the ad platform works, what it's about, and all of that good stuff. So I'm not going to go into that much detail on the slide. I'm just going to give a quick refresher for anybody who wasn't there at that meetup. So the app platform, it's open source, and that's obviously, it's free to use, nobody owns it. And the app platform consists of what we call the app protocol, which is built on Dart, and then apps, which are built on Flutter. Now, one of the main benefits of developing on the app platform is that you don't have to worry about a backend. So you don't have to deal with database management. You don't have to worry about securing the database, the cost of hosting that database. None of that is an issue when you build on the app protocol. And in addition to that, apps that are built on the app platform are surveillance free and they're interconnected. So your apps would automatically comply with all the privacy regulations that are currently out there, such as GDPR. And these two things combined result in rapid development cycles. So your apps will be built much quicker and you'll be able to maintain them with a lot of ease. And you can check out more about the app platform on our dev site, on our GitHub, or you can follow us on Twitter. So during the demo, I'm going to be mentioning @signs. So I thought it would be good for me to just give a brief description of what an @sign actually is. So in the simplest terms that we could come up with, your @sign is your digital key on the internet. And what we mean is take it as your unique identifier that kind of holds your data and it allows you to control your data all the time. As anything that you put out there, you can retract it, you can decide who you share it with, how long you share it, and what exactly you're sharing. And we have a number of @sign options that are available to people at the moment. So you could have a free auto-generated @sign, or you could have a semi-custom or fully custom paid @sign. And these are just some examples that are available. And if you stay tuned, we're going to be doing an @sign gift card giveaway later on in this presentation. Okay, so moving on to App Persona. So just to give a little bit of context behind why this app was built. So today, when you interact with people, you have a lot of different bits of information that you can share with them. So your phone number, your email, your social media handles, your home address, there's so many things to share with people, which means you have to keep up with these things. You have to, if you change your phone number, you're going to have to tell all these people you've changed your number. It's a lot of work. So what we wanted is that we wanted to create something that allows you to share all of those different things, but from one kind of engine. And that engine would be your @sign, in this case, @Alice. And with that, we then get to the app @Persona, which we're defining as the gateway for your journey on the internet, where you own your data, and this is enabled by the app platform. App Persona is already available on the Apple App Store and on the Google Play Store, so feel free to try it out after this meetup. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and get into the demo. All right, so on the right, you can see my phone, and on the left, you can see my browser. So I'm going to start off on my phone for this part. So I'm going to open App Persona, and here you can see what we're calling our dashboard. So I've got 2 @ signs that are currently loaded onto the app, and it's really simple to add an @ sign. All you do is tap the plus icon, enter the @ sign that you want to add in, and then you'll go through a 1-step authentication process, and that's it. So let's have a look at some of the features of this app. So if I tap on my @sign, which is @Tina_SHE, I have 4 options. I can edit my profile, I can view my profile, I can delete my @sign, and I can back up my private keys. I'm going to go ahead and click edit. And then at the bottom of the screen, you can see I have 5 different sort of categories that I can work with in Add Persona. So the first category is my profile picture. So here I can upload a picture, I can remove my picture, I can edit a picture, I can take a new picture, got a lot of options. And then in the next section, we have our details. So we have some pre-populated fields, predefined fields, sorry, that you can enter. So your name, your phone number, your email, your pronoun, which I take very seriously. And then we have some custom content, which I'm going to come back to in a little bit. The next section is your location. So here, all you do is type in your location and hit search, and then it will pull up a map for where you are. And you can put in a nickname for your location if you don't want it to just show whatever it is that you typed. The next section is your social section. So here, we've made it really, really easy for you to connect your social media profiles to your Add Persona page. So you either put in your username or you put in the full URL to your social media page, and both those methods work to link your page to your profile. And then lastly, we have gamer tags. So for anybody who plays games online, here you can put in your gamer tags, and then people would be able to find you on your gaming platforms. So if I go back home and I hit the black eye icon, this will open up my profile. And then here you can see pretty much all the stuff that I've just shown you in the edit screens. You've got my name, my details, you've got links to my Instagram and my LinkedIn, and then you've got a whole lot of custom content here. And, you know, it's pretty flexible. We've got emojis in there. We've got a link to our Discord, got a YouTube video. You can put a whole lot of stuff in here. And one of the things I love most about this, I'm a really big fan of dark mode. So you can toggle this into dark mode and you can view it in dark mode. And you can also share your page in dark mode, which is really, really cool. All right, so I'm just going to open up this page on my desktop real quick. And on my phone, I'm going to go into the custom content section. So on the left, you can see we have this Finding Nemo GIF right here. So if we look on my phone where it says favorite quote, if I hit edit, this is the interface that allows us to add custom content. And at the moment, we have 5 different options for you. So you can add in text, you can add hyperlinks, numbers, images, and YouTube videos. But what makes this really cool is that for the text, you can also put in HTML. So that section that says with my favorite quote with the GIF, that's actually HTML. So I have 2 P tags, which are paragraph tags, and then I just have an iframe with the GIF embedded in it. And so with this particular page, I actually have this in my email signature, and I just use it as a way to allow people to know a little bit more about me after I've sent them an email. But you could use App Persona pages for a number of things. So for example, let's just say I was a slightly more interested person and I have a group of friends who speak multiple languages. And so we've gotten together and we are teaching people how to speak these languages. So I've created a page for this business of ours that we have, and it's called NEA Learning. We have our company name, our little logo, we've got our contact details and the fact that we're online. And then in the page contents, we have all of the languages that we teach. So we teach the different Chinese dialects, we teach French, Japanese, Russian, Arabic, Hebrew, and Hindi. And then in each of these sections, we have a little hyperlink for people to register. So let's just say each one of my friends teaches one of these languages. And for some reason, my French friend is no longer able to take on new students, well, temporarily. So if this was like a regular sort of web page, you'd have to kind of go in, edit some code to get rid of that section, like this section right here. But then @Persona makes it super easy. So if I go into the NEA H2U edit and I find that bit of custom content, so that's French, we have these little toggles on the right, and these control whether something is public or private. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that to private and hit save. And then if I refresh this page, our company is no longer taking registrations for French lessons. And then, so if my friend becomes available again, it's a super quick process. All I do is go back into the app, set that back to public, hit save, and we should now be able to accept French registrations again. Super simple. And then with the custom content, there's so much more you can do with it. Like the fact that we have those text fields really opens up the possibilities of what you can have on your @Persona page. So here is a page that we created for our gamer friend, and they have YouTube videos. They have high-res images in there, more images. They have scrolling content for their discount codes. They have links to their friends' Twitch channels. Here, there'd be some statistics on the games that they've been playing. And then we have an embedded calendar for when they'd be live on Twitch. So if you just clicked on that, you'd then be able to go straight to the live stream. And we also have a Spotify playlist that you can actually play within the page, which is pretty cool. And with regards to the social accounts, so we obviously have these links that allow you to just click and go directly to the page. But then we also have this social stream section where it actually shows you the social stream for that particular account, if you set it to public, obviously. And then in the gamer tag section, it shows you all of the gamer tags that people have put in. And we've made it super easy to share this. So someone would just come here, hit copy, and then go and paste it in whatever gaming platform that tag belongs to. And then last but not least, we're currently working on allowing people to follow each other. So very soon the app will allow you to follow @signs, and you could set that information to public and private as well. Sameeraja will probably talk a little bit more about this in her code walkthrough. But yeah, that's pretty much my demo. I'm going to hand over to Sameeraja to go through the code now.
Yes, and thanks, Tinashe. And that was very cool to see all of the different divergent data to be at one place. And so I'll just start sharing my screen. So here, as Tinashe has demo, we can see different divergent data to be, we can give it through @Persona. So here is the most important feature that you have observed would be making some data to be private and publicly available, which means in the primarily, we have mentioned that @Platform will have no surveillance. So that means your data is under your control. So whenever you have made something to private or public, it is nothing but your all data is encrypted. So you can only see your data, what it is over there. So in order to convert it into the public and private, like how it actually works behind the screens. So do an app developer has to take all the burden over there in order to start, for example, a new app. So maybe right, maybe yes or maybe not. So let's just get our answers by going to the code walkthrough. So coming to this, so as you might all know, this is a YAML page. These are some of the dependencies that I've used over here, and for implementing some of the features, like for picking up the images that she has shown, and profile pictures, and then Google Maps for picking up the locations. So these are some of the dependencies. And coming to the last three, these are the dependencies that have been developed by at platform and are available in pub.dev. So what exactly do these things is, whenever any apps are being developed, so in order to make the life of an app developer very easy, these plugins will definitely come to save the time of an app developer in order to concentrate more on core functionalities. So while I was doing the ad persona, with the help of this at onboarding Flutter, I can easily make ad sign to be paired with my device without any taking care of how to make the ad sign to be authenticated and how should it be handled. So I'll just get about how it is handled and how the plugin has been used. So let me go through that. So here in the code, I have just written a common service in order to use this in multiple places of ad persona. So here, this onboarding plugin, it will take some of the parameters from the app side, definitely a context, and the app color, so that it can make look and feel of your app will be forwarded towards to this plugin. And then it will have a function called onboard, which will return something called a map, which can be used further to perform some of the operations on it. And then it also returns an ad sign. And on error, like what happens if my ad sign hasn't onboarded or paired with my device? No problem. We are just throwing an error, and app developer has to handle like whatever they need to handle it. And then you can see in ad persona there are multiple ad signs supported. So if you want only a particular ad sign to be onboarded but not the all, yes, you can do that by just passing out the ad sign parameter. And then you can see the next screens and the first time hot screens, which will just take out the widget that you want to show after the completion of the onboarding plugin. And then this is the most important parameter called at client preference, which means that whenever if we want something assigned to be done, so we just the SDK services will take some of the preferences from app developer side. So okay, this is fine. Like we have just now completed integrating the onboarding, but how can we perform some of the operations like saving my data or making it public or private? Like how can we do that? Yes, there comes the package called Atline Mobile. So this will act as a bridge between the ad apps and ad platform. So I'll just get about like how it has been integrated and how it is used. So yeah, so this is the SDK service, or which I can call, which acts as through which all of the operations related to the ad persona or any ad app can be forwarded to SDK. So here what I'm doing is, have already mentioned that in onboarding, we are trying to pass the preferences that an app developer wish to pass. For example, if we want something like to be stored, if we want our data to be stored in the local storages of phone, like how can we do it? We need to take the path of the supporting directories, and we have to maintain all those stuff. But by using the SDK service, we don't need to, because we can just specify the paths and preferences, and all the button will be taken care by SDK service. So here you can see, you can just need to pass the preference path that is required for different paths. And then here, this is something called namespace. As an ad sign is very unique identifier to an individual, and this namespace is a unique identifier an app. For example, at persona has a namespace of persona. So whenever I just create a key, for example, first name, last name, it will be succeeded with a namespace called dot persona. And then this is the sync strategy, which is something like, do you want to sync it immediately, or do you want to make it after completing all of my operations, and etc. And then, so as I have made up my all my preferences and I'm ready to give it to the onboarding service, and so on onboarding completely, it will give me back the client service map. So yeah, so I've completed my first part, and then I have integrated my SDK service to give the client service preferences back. But now, so as you have seen in the demo, Tinashe has made some of the data to public to private and private to public. So if it is a public data, yes, you can just save it and the public can view the data. But what about the private data? Like uh, it has to be encrypted, because in order to avoid the snooping and all. So should an app developer has to take out all the burden of encrypting the data and decrypting the data? Might not be, because SDK service will provide you the way of providing much more details, like whenever you want to save a key into the platform, you can just specify the name of the key, and then you have to give some more details, like if you want to, whether you want to make it as a public or private data. You just need to just provide a single boolean value called is private to a metadata of the key. It's just that simple. Just you need to provide a boolean value. And for the images, and you want to make it a compress and you want to encrypt it to the images, so what you have to present, if it is a image. So here I've just provided as if my key is equals to the image, I'm just providing it as binary. So just a single line of code will works miracles. So it'll just give you whether it's a private and public. So this is about like how we can switch over between public and private very easily by using Atlan Mobile. And yes, I have given that metadata and everything. I have found my keys, but how can I store it into secondaries or service? Like, how can I do it? It's just simple. Like how we have methods for HTTP as get, put, delete. Similarly, we have those methods to be available from the SDK. We have methods like get, which will able to get the data of that key, and we can put some of the data along with the values, and we can delete any key at any time. So here, as we support the, as I've already mentioned earlier, at onboarding plugin will support multiple AdSense. So you need not to worry about tackling about how it can be made. As it is written in a map, we just have to get that particular client service instances, and then we need to pass that basing on this client service map of @sign, and we'll just get it, and we'll just call all the put, get, and delete methods. So similarly, there is something called get at keys. So you have done all the operations, but what if I want to get all the keys which I've showed, which I've saved from the app? So you can just something like get at keys, where you can get all the data by passing some of the parameters like regex, and then you can filter out whatever way you want it. And then apart from this, there are some of the sensitive details that will be stored in device storage. Let me say that as Flutter Secure Storage. So all those details like your key, your @signs will be stored there, and the sensitive information to encryption, to perform the encryption, will be stored in device. So that means your data is completely under your control. So in order to get those @signs and how to change the in the dashboard, you can see there are options like resetting your @sign or deleting your @sign. So these can be done by calling the methods from there's something called kitchen manager, or you can do it even from by using the @line for @sign service as well. So this is about like how I have made the integration part very easily without worrying about how to store my local storage and how to do the encryption part. And then there are some more packages that are available over here. Let me show you. So this is something called at backup Key Flutter. So which as in the demo, you can see there are 4 options to be available. One is like updating, deleting, and the other one is like backup your keys. Like whenever you have authenticated, you will get some keys to be backed by yourself. In case if you missed out to save it well, no problem. By using this at backup Key Flutter, you can save it well. So it works as a polymorphic. For example, if you want to put it as a button, you can do it, or if you want to make it as an icon, then it is in your hands. So you just make it in. And there are some more packages that are available and that were developed by at platform. Those are called @chats, which makes us to integrate the chat applications to be very easy to use with ad platforms. And there's something called ad location, which will help us in tracking the live locations of an ad sign with no surveillance. So this is the important point to be noted. And then we have also got ad contacts, through which you can add group of contacts to our list. So yeah, so this is a brief discussion about how ad persona works behind the screens. And yeah, I'm done.
Awesome. Thanks, Sameeraja. Lots of great info there. So just rounding up our presentation, we will be, oops, sorry. We will be doing a giveaway on our Discord server. We love welcoming people to our ad community. So we're inviting you all to head over to our Discord and introduce yourself with the hashtag FlutterSG. And sometime next week, we will be selecting some lucky winners who will get a $25 coupon towards a paid ad sign. Thanks a lot for listening to us. It's been fun. And if you have any questions that you want to ask away. Otherwise, you can contact Sameeraja and I via email.
I was curious, how big is this persona app in terms of code base? Do you have...
Okay, so it is not yet open source now. So it will be soon be open source because we are working on some of the features, as Tinashe has mentioned, about follows and following. So as soon as it gets completed, and it will be available in at Foundation GitHub links. So as you just go and copy the link, and yeah, the code, you can just play with the code base that persona.
So we have one question from Tony. Actually, why the app is called Persona, and probably can you use it for multiple accounts?
Yes, I can say it is Persona because it is your public profile, or I can say it is a collection of your data, which can be public or private. So yes, you can set up several personas in a different way, called having multiple ad signs and setting up the personas for each ad sign. So,
and just to add to that, we are currently looking at rebranding it because we realized that after Sameeraja had built it, we realized that this goes beyond just people. So businesses can have persona pages, groups can have persona pages. You can have a persona page for a product, for an event. So we're currently kind of going through some different options for names at the moment.
Okay, thanks. And one more question about Persona. You mentioned that technically you can integrate any HTML code, and this gives possibility to extend it. I was curious, would I be able to inject just plain JavaScript and try to steal tokens from users who open my Persona page?
yeah, do you want to take over, Tinashe?
Short answer is no.
Okay.
You would be able to put in JavaScript, but not any JavaScript.
Okay, so there are some limitations.
Yes.
Okay. Nice to see that. And the question before last, our next talk will be about gaming. And do you think that if there are some use cases how you can use ad protocol to build games, game apps, or something like that?
So currently, by using ad platforms, we have different apps apart from that persona, where you can connect with the contacts and all. But we haven't even developed any game app. So having invited to have such an app, it would be really a learning experience for both ad platform side and for the app developers as well. I think it's good to start with, but as they move on, we can learn both.